I learned about survival of the fittest at an early age when I was born the third child in a family of 7. I began to learn the power of work at the ripe old age of 8 when my uncles took me on my first trail building experience. We built sections of hiking trails throughout the western United States, and from the day school got out until oftentimes after school started in the fall. Those were carefree days living in the woods for months on end like a wild boy, riding our motorcycles like we were invincible, and bathing at least once a week if we found a river or a lake to jump in. When I was 14, I was introduced to the sport of basketball by some persistent friends who needed a big man on the team, and since I was a head taller than all of them, they thought I would fit the bill, even though walking and chewing gum at the same time was a very difficult task. I remember the first game that I ever played in. They threw me the ball, I slung it at the basket, and somehow it went in and I was hooked. From that time on, I played ball around the clock. Not long after I scored my first basket, I was telling my parents of my plans to play in the NBA, and my dad told me not to get my hopes up. I have never liked being told I could not do something because I was not good enough, so my mission in life was clear: prove my dad wrong. My freshman year, I made the team but never saw the floor in 12 of the 18 games we played. My senior year, I started every varsity game. My playing days taught me the value of teamwork and the power that comes from working together for a common cause. I realized during my senior year that I wanted an education past high school, so I joined the Army to serve my country and take advantage of their educational incentives. 10 days after I graduated high school, I headed to Fort Jackson, South Carolina for basic training. I thought I understood perseverance at this point in my life, but this experience was like walking into a buzzsaw both literally and figuratively. My brothers had shown me a few movies about basic training to prepare me, but Hollywood really did not do this experience justice. I averaged over 1,000 push-ups a day for 3 months and gained 25 pounds. In 1989, I became a first-generation college graduate from BYU and then headed to Oregon to earn a master's degree from Oregon State University, which I completed in 1991. In 1988, I convinced a woman so far above my position to marry me that 28 years later I still marvel at my good fortune. If you ask me what my greatest contribution to this world was, I would tell you without reserve it is my 4 children. Taylor, my oldest, is in her second year of medical school at the University of Utah. BJ is a senior at BYU Hawaii on a basketball scholarship. Alexandria is a freshman at Bethany Lutheran in Minnesota on a basketball scholarship, and Jake is a sophomore at Payson High School. My kids got very lucky because they inherited very little from me and a lot from their mother. In 1999, I was lucky enough to become part of the most incredible team I have ever been part of here at Payson High School. During my time here, I have forged some very powerful relationships with the faculty and staff and have worked with some of the most incredible students around. I have had the privilege of going to high school with all 4 of my children. My name is Ben Ford, I'm the principal, and I am a Lion.